You don't seem too thrilled. Aren't you excited about the party tonight?
I don't know. I mean, it's my mom. Ever since my father died on Halloween night, this day seems to really affect her, you know? She hasn't gotten over it yet. Poor woman. She's had a lot of problems.
Yeah. One of the bigger problems is living right here in this house, huh?
Here comes that Halloween magic.
It is night, but there is a tap at the window. No one there. Again at the other window. But no one is there either.
There's one magical, haunted evening each year when all the scary creatures come out to prowl through every neighborhood.
Rock and roll, rock and
Trick or treat.
What are you doing?
Well, it's a Halloween episode. I've got these chains, and I got these ghouls and ghosts. I thought I'd bring them. Did you bring anything to this Halloween episode?
I only brought chains of love. I thought this was a Valentine's Day episode.
I could see how you get confused. Could you go grab some boglins real quick?
Well, I'll see if they want to come out. They like it under the surface.
We know the ghoulies will come out.
Well, they'll always get you in the ass, as they say.
That was my ass getting gotten by a ghoulie. That was also my acting. Hello and welcome to Hello, this is the Doomed Show. I am Richard. Folks, it is the Halloween season. That's how they pronounce it in French. And in France is where Halloween was invented. So, Le Halloween. Or, if you're Jewish, Happy Halloween. Jeffrey is here. Welcome, Jeffrey.
The saison. The reason of the season.
The ghost, the zebu.
Lebu.
Lebu. I can't believe I didn't say lebu. No one's going to know what I'm talking about. Ugh. Such an idiot.
It's okay, you're forgiven.
Folks, we are here to talk about I wouldn't call this a film. I would call this the pinnacle of human art.
I'd call it a documentary.
Oh, man. A chilling expose into the world of small-town satanic life.
A gripping demonstration of what it takes to run a pumpkin patch.
Ooh, just kidding. It's a family drama. Boy, howdy, is it a family drama.
This is one opinionated family.
We're talking, of course, about Hack-O-Lantern, not Jack-O-Lantern, Hack-O-Lantern from 1988.
A.K.A. Halloween Night.
Ooh, and The Damning, which I like very much.
I don't really get that one.
Well, it was too risque. They should have called it The Darning or The Danging.
This is a movie about fixing your socks? The Darning.
It was also called Death Mask, which even less sensical.
Well, I mean, the mask doesn't kill anything. So, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
This was directed by Jag Mundra, and, man, whew, he can direct a movie.
What? Where do you see evidence of this?
I'm assuming that his 31 credits on IMDb are things he shot. But,
Oh, so you mean he's, like, physically capable of directing?
He was. He did pass away.
He did,
He was
yes.
born in Nagpur, which is one of the central provinces in India. And he made a few thrillers and horror films, and then he went back to India to make, like romantic movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like he kind of just went with whatever was kind of in right now. That seems to be, like, from interviews with him, that was kind of the impression I got. You know, he's just a director. He wants to direct stuff, so whatever will get money funding, that's fine. He's notable for horror fans for directing this movie in particular, but also before that, Open House with Adrienne Barbeau, which is god-awful. It's so bad.
I have a copy of it. I have not seen it.
It's nonsensical. This movie's a vast improvement. I think that there were probably problems with production problems, wherein I think they filmed some of it and then they filmed more of it later, and the two parts just don't really gel. It's a weird movie. He also did the Jigsaw Murders right after Hack-O-Lantern, which I have not seen, but it has a cool poster, and I've heard things about it.
Things, you say?
Things.
This was written by him, by Jag, and Carla Robinson. Or no, wait, maybe a solo credit for Carla Robinson, who went on to do something. Oh, man. This movie, boy. Oh, boy. I mean, ooh. I'm a ghost or a werewolf, whatever. I wasn't sure what I was doing there.
All right, do your best jack-o'-lantern impression.
Hey, hey. That's a jack-o'-lantern being carved up. Hey, hey.
Really doesn't like it, huh?
No, I thought they thought it was sex.
Ooh.
I put the Jack in jack-o'-lantern?
Oh, no. No.
I'm sorry.
Back it up.
Bag it up. I regret everything?
Yes.
Yes. There's something amazing on IMDb that this had a budget of $5 million.
Huh.
It says budget $5,500,000.
Well, I guess that means they bought 5 million pumpkins because
Let's do a quick adjustment for inflation.
Let's see. CPI inflation calculator for 1987 to, let's do today. Boom.
This movie would have cost $12,115,580.04 in today's money.
Wow.
I don't see that on the screen so much. No.
And you know where else you don't see it? In the pockets of anybody who worked on this movie.
Oh, I bet.
We were told in a feature on the recent Blu-ray release from Massacre Video from the lead actor, whose name is Gregory Scott Cummins, that nobody was paid to make this movie. He said he made nothing. It was entirely for his acting reel, and that this was the case of a lot of other people who worked on this movie. So I guess Jag Mundra lined his pockets. I don't want to say. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he did. But
let's see. Was he also a producer on this film?
This is a movie that has like 2-3 locations tops.
Yes.
They were not spending a lot of money for like
no
anything here. Again, except for like the truck that carries a bunch of pumpkins around. I don't know what else.
That was $1 million truck. $1 million right there. Boom.
Maybe they like gave a really big tip to the strippers. I don't know.
There you go. See, that's nice.
That's not a tasteless joke. There are actual strippers in this movie.
Man, I can't wait to get to that part of this conversation. The cinematographer, his name is Stephen Ashley Blake. He also shot Deadly Prey.
Wow.
A very infamous, cheesy action movie.
Wow.
No,
I see a visual continuity between these two. Actually.
A through line there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I found the Legacy Entertainment VHS. This film was released on many VHS labels, but this is the one that immediately springs to mind. It's got a certain character who I wish was a character of the entire movie, not just in a dream sequence / music video on the cover. It's just a beautiful orange, like fading into red. Beautiful, beautiful cover. And here is what it says on the back of this VHS. It says, Strange things are happening in Tommy's seemingly perfect town, ... A bloody pitchfork is found beside a mutilated corpse, ... Dark chanting permeates the night chill, ... A deranged man warns of murder and madness, ... Graves are robbed, ... And an ancient evil is about to be unleashed on the most devilish day. What do you call it? What's that thing that's in a sentence when you want to, like, interrupt the sentence? Not a comma. What is that thing?
A colon? What
No.
do you... A dash?
Wait, it's this one. Listen. It's that one. What's that one?
I don't know what you're typing.
How do you not know from the sound of the keyboard? Okay, it's a dash. The most devilish day, dash, and night, dash of all, Halloween, period. Enter into a world of black secrets. What? Like African American secrets?
Well, kind of.
Hey, I like it. Comma, revenge, comma, and death. Spine dash chilling, suspense, comma, shocking revelations, comma, and the ultimate terror of all are about... What? And the ultimate terror of all are about to be revealed. Oh, okay. ... When the sun goes down, and I forgot to do the voice. When the sun goes down, the wind begins to howl, period. It is the season of the witch, ... and the night of the devil, ... period, not dot. It is the unspeakable fear of capital letters, hack-o-lantern, ... Whew. Then it continues, where terror ends, comma, hack-o-lantern begins, period. Join the adventure, dash, if you dare, period.
Does this...
Suggested retail price, $79.95.
Jesus Christ. Did you just read that from a scroll that unfurls from the back of the VHS tape?
What's weird is I read it verbatim. Like, all those questions I had about what a dash is are actually on the back of the VHS tape. It's the longest VHS cover I've ever seen.
Weirdly, I believe you.
Man.
So about 1/3 of those things do happen in the movie. So congrats on the copywriter here. Well, you know what? I gotta say that I really do hate when something permeates my night chill. Just trying to get my night chill on. And
I know, like a blast of warm air messes up your night chill.
Get it out of there, man.
Some sex fog rolls in. Oh, wait, we like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, sometimes.
Okay, the movie starts with some very silly synthesizer over the top of a perfect sunrise. And, oh, gee, I wonder if we're filming in California.
Yes. So this is a it's like a JAG Films production. So it's a Judge Advocate General film.
You don't see a lot of those. That's interesting.
No. Yeah, the score over this part, it's kind of like a drunk exorcist organ score. It's a little sloppy. It's like you're going to the summoning, but you've pre-gamed before you've gone.
Oh, I like that.
All right, so I have a question for you right off the bat. What exactly do you think a hack-o-lantern is?
Oh.
Is it like a jack-o'-lantern who's settled for writing on a TV sitcom? Like, what is it?
Oh, man. I feel like it's a jack-o'-lantern that does a lot of, like, odd jobs around the house. Possibly yard work with a machete, chopping down things, like hacking. Like the bamboo that you planted that's now out of control. And you need a hack-o'-lantern to cut it down, especially at night because you're embarrassed. You don't want the neighbors to see what's going on.
So that's what the lantern part is for. To see
exactly.
In the dark. Wow, beautiful, yeah.
I like your answer.
Our killer in this film has a wide variety of utensils, tools that he's using for his dispatching. Like, I had to look some of them up because I didn't know, like, what the hell is that?
Talking about Mr. O'Lantern?
Yeah, Mr. O'Lantern.
Just call me Hack.
Call me Lanty.
Lanty. I'm stone cold Lampy. Oh, wait, I messed up.
All right, the killer's name is Lampy. That's fine. Let's stick with that. Yeah.
We see a dude driving a pumpkin truck. Not a truck that's shaped like a pumpkin, but a truck that's the back of it is filled with pumpkins.
And there it is. There's the budget on screen.
Oh, okay. So the truck was $1 million. Pumpkins, $4.5 million. Done. We get to a nice idyllic house here, and we meet our young Tommy, who I wish he would never grow up.
He's pretty good as a little kid, huh? I love these opening scenes. They're so autumnal, so good. It's dawn in the pumpkin patch. Everything doesn't quite look like fall, but everything's got a nice like burnt orange cast to it that makes it feel nice.
Well, Southern California in the 80s, before people started turning orange, the land itself was orange.
And the pumpkins. Yeah.
The gentleman driving the truck is his grandpa, and this particular grandpa is played by an actor named Hi Pike. Hi Pike.
How you doing, Pike?
This guy was a character actor. He passed away in 2006. I did not realize that he was a dude in Blade Runner.
Yeah, he's not in too much.
Spawn of the Slithis.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, he's got some cool credits early on. He's in Dolomite. He's in Lamora.
Nice.
And, Blade Runner would be his biggest credit.
Nice.
But not much outside of that of interest. Vamp is pretty good. This is one of his last roles.
Based on this, he should have done less.
What do you mean? He
is so... I think he's too good at being sleazy.
Yes, he is a sleaze machine.
Imagine a less sweaty Joe Spinell who smoked 2 packs a day.
A slightly less sweaty, older, non-mustachioed Joe Spinell. Also, he kind of looks like a skinnier Divine out of drag. I mean, he's not as good an actor as Divine, but...
That's true.
There's a certain cadence to this performance that I think would not find itself uncomfortable in a John Waters film.
Totally. He's a lot of fun in this movie.
Yes.
Sleazy fun. I wrote that this man is terrifying, and I mean the actor and the character.
Yeah, he loves his grandson, Tommy. And in this scene in particular, we begin in 1968. We're going to jump ahead 13 years. But for the moment, we're in 1968. And they've de-aged Hi Pike by putting a ridiculous wig on him, which is pretty funny. So he loves Tommy, who goes out to greet him. He presents Tommy with a plastic skeleton, which is in fact the family heirloom. And he gives his special boy the pick of the pumpkin patch, which Tommy's quite excited about.
He also gives him a secret something, too.
Oh, yes. We don't see that happen. But
it's he's going to brandish it later.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, Tommy. Nothing can keep me from seeing you on this, the grandest day of the year. And Grandpa's got something very special for you.
I bet it's a pumpkin.
Take your pick of the patch.
That one. What else you got in there, Grandpa?
This is something very, very special. It's just for you.
Something for me? 'Cause I'm special?
Yes, Tommy. Because you are very, very special. Yeah.
Grandpa takes off. And we find out that Tommy, little Tommy, is a real asshole. He's hacking o-lanterning.
I mean, I would think it's fair to say that everybody in the Drindle family is kind of an asshole. On aggregate, because Tommy's supposed to be the evil one. As we established. And yet our first glimpse of his younger brother Roger is of Roger murdering his sister and mother with a toy machine gun.
Well, he's going to be a police officer.
So he needs to get used to the job of murdering people with his gun.
Used to gunning people down.
In cold blood. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Yeah.
Tommy's throwing pumpkin guts at his sister, and that does not endear me to someone.
He's saying, here's for your pumpkin pie.
Oh, see, that's good. Add a little sugar.
Mm-hmm. Because, girls are made of sugar and spice, so he's figuring if he just nails her in the head, she's going to turn into a pumpkin pie.
Many years ago, we recorded America's Funniest Home Videos, one of their Halloween episodes.
Okay.
And I think it aired 9 years ago now. And we always break it out to watch. And there's the kid who's carving pumpkins with his parents and decides to stick a bunch of pumpkin guts in his mouth. And at first he thinks it's good, and then he starts to shiver and shake and like stomp his feet, and then he throws up in the pumpkin.
That's rad.
And I can't. Oh man,
I can't imagine. That sounds a little too edgy for AFV.
Well, this was 2008, man. Shit was raw.
Different times.
Totally different time. We meet Sister Vera. That's the one who has pumpkin guts thrown at her. And like you said, Roger shows up and kills everyone. I wrote, hey, he's terrible too.
But somehow the more concerning action is the fact that Tommy is carving a pumpkin.
Oh.
That's the more dangerous childhood activity.
My second favorite character in the movie is in this scene, and that is the mom, Amanda. Mm-hmm. And she's, trying to keep these kids from murdering each other. This is Katina Garner. Oh, this actress is very special.
Yeah, she worked with Jag Mundra and other things, yeah?
Yes.
So. Yeah, they seem to be buds.
I like her very much. I find her extremely attractive, but I'm weird. I really like her on a TV appearance I found on YouTube of her showing up on a talk show in the late 70s, early 80s as a plant in the audience asking the mayor of some city questions. Okay. It's really strange. It's like, I don't know what she's doing there. She's reading questions off of a cue card. It's really funny. I'll play a clip from it here.
Okay.
It's like totally obtuse. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's great.
Now I have a question at the podium. State your question, please.
First of all, I'd like to say, Mayor Sam, I watch your show as often as I can, and I think you're just great.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Katina Garner, and I'd like to know, if Jimmy Carter decides to run for re-election, do you think he'll get the nomination from his party?
Well, she was sort of in a... Okay, this is so weird. Her and another actress in this film, Mariah Grant. Her name looks like Maria Gant, but it's actually Mariah, I guess. They were like friends, and they were in a bunch of movies together. They were in a Polish Vampire in Burbank together. They were in Cannibal Hookers together.
Yeah,
and they, I guess, were so close and so closely associated. They had a fan club together.
What?
They had their own P.O. box where you could send a letter and join their fan club, and I guess maybe get like updates on their career and photos.
Cool.
And stuff.
That is so great.
They were buds. Mariah Gant is she's the Barbara Steele lookalike who has a small role late in the film.
Yes,
she's one of the victims of the of Mr. Lumpy Pumpkin Lampkin. What?
Spoiler alert: she's my favorite character in this movie.
Oh, really? Well,
so
there you go.
My two favorite people that are best buds. That is so cool.
Well, I'll give you the address for the fan club.
Please. But Katina was also in a movie I really like, a little straight-to-video anthology series. It was only 2 films, but quite memorable, called Dark Romances, which I was at a local used media store many years ago. They had DVDs, records, tapes, everything, and VHS, and I found on VHS for very, very cheap something called Dark Romances, volumes 1 and 2, with good old Brink Stevens as the hostess of all of the anthology things. It was really fun.
Interesting.
Can't say I remember Katina Garner, but I'm a fan of said Dark Romances.
Well, she's also in Rollerblade, which is a crazy movie from the director of Hell Comes to Frogtown. It is a post-apocalyptic rollerblading movie.
What?
Say no more.
Oh, no. This looks... The poster alone.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And she has a prominent role in that, so good on her. But also, yeah, her career also sort of declined after Hack-O-Lantern, sadly.
Well, when you peak, what are you going to do?
That's fair.
Tommy cuts his finger while he's Hack-O-Lanterning, and Mom runs over to check on him, and of course, he's bleeding like a stuck pig and just licking the blood. He's like, "It's okay, Mom. I like the taste of blood. Grandpa says it's good for me."
Yeah, it really helps a growing demon beast.
Tommy, we have to wash that. But Mom, I like the taste of blood. Grandpa says it's good for me. Grandpa.
The kid's gonna grow up to be, like, I don't know, I guess my third favorite character in the movie. The most relatable for me in this movie is old Tommy. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I see a lot of comparisons.
I know, we're both brunettes. So the pumpkin gets smashed. I don't even know how it got smashed. Was Roger messing around or something?
No, Mother picks it up and throws it on the ground right in front of him.
What?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't have the Blu-ray, man.
Oh, you're missing all these details.
No, I was writing notes furiously and looked down and missed it.
What you failed to realize is that this is actually the origin of the band Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
That boy grew up, shaved his head, and renamed himself Billy Corgan.
Huh. Yeah. He really did like that ice cream truck that's not featured in this movie.
Okay.
When she smashed that pumpkin, I wrote, talk about a hacked O-lantern. What was that sound that jack-o'-lanterns make?
Quit stabbing me.
So that night, Dad comes home.
Bill.
Thank you. I had no idea who Bill was.
Daddy Bill.
Yes, he is an actor named Michael Potts, and he was in Hack-O-Lantern, among other Hack-O-Lantern movies. And he does not like Grandpa's hold on Tommy, and he decides to go and confront old G-Pa, as my notes keep referring to him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a terrible idea.
Yes, we know that because some ominous organ music starts playing. On the Blu-ray, I was watching it with subtitles on. It actually says ominous organ music.
That needs to be a meme. Slow death metal playing or whatever. I keep seeing that meme somewhere. He goes to the barn where I assume that Grandpa lives.
Yeah, Grandpa is holding a a key party in his...
Oh, that is just his level of sleaze. Good call, sir. Wow. It's the other kind of key party, the Black Mass.
Yes.
And when Bill confronts him, Grandpa gives him the devil horns.
Yeah, Grandpa says, "We don't like trespassers here."
You know what? They should make a documentary about this movie and have Tom Waits play High Pike.
There is a little bit of the Tom Waits in I mean, it's not deep, like it's not like now Tom Waits or like the guttural Tom Waits, but like Tom Waits' speaking voice, yeah, a little bit.
When Bill tells Grandpa to leave Tommy alone, he says, "Tommy belongs to something greater." And then a Satanist stabs Bill to death from behind.
Well, he hits him over the head with a hammer. It's the first of our tool deaths.
This is a multi-pronged Satanist killing machine.
To be fair, this is more of a Toolbox Murders movie than the actual Toolbox Murder.
L-O-double-L-I, L-O-P spells lollipop.
Oh man, I would love to have like a Freddy vs. Jason where it's Grandpa versus Cameron Mitchell in Toolbox Murders. Can you imagine?
That'd be pretty amazing. I like that.
So, I mean, the oiliest one wins.
The fight of the century, my friend. They put Bill in his car, and they're going to burn the car with Bill's body inside. But Grandpa actually says something really nice to him. He says, "Burn in hell, Bill."
Yeah, which is kind of like a compliment from him. Yeah.
From a Satanist.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, wait, he liked that dude? Okay.
He also does this really cool thing where he lights a match on a scratch in the car paint.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Man, like, only way it would have been better is if he like struck it off of his own chin or something. Like,
no, too oily, man.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Ugh, I need another match. Meanwhile, Tommy is in his room looking at the secret object that Grandpa gave him, and it's a pentagram. Yeah! All right!
And it's a very special pentagram pendant because, Grandpa kept that up his ass during the war, and he carried it all those years just so he could give it to his favorite grandson.
Was it the Korean War?
Yeah. Exactly.
He was a general. He didn't have to do that. He just liked shoving things up his ass.
Yeah, it felt good.
So then the most brutal, sick, like death metal kicks in. No, wait. The absolute wrong music kicks in right when we see this pentagram. It's like this.
It's
happy music.
Yes, it actually said on the subtitles, upbeat synth music.
It's the present day, or is this one of those films that sat on the shelf for a long time, or was this actually like an 88 production?
Well, add 13 to 68, and there's your answer.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Math.
So the answer is, yeah, it's out on the shelf for a while.
1993. What?
Maybe. I don't know about that. So yeah, time was not kind to little Tommy, who in the course of 13 years has aged from, I don't know, what, 8 to about 45. He is in fact, a teenage metalhead going on 45, living in his mom's basement.
Yes. This is like all of the new Twin Peaks characters, like all the old Twin Peaks characters, like how they're all messed up now, you know?
Oh. Some of them are looking all right.
I'm referring specifically, I don't mean the actors, I mean the characters, like they're all messed up. Like Alicia Witt's character's all messed up now.
Oh, true. But we only saw her in one little shot, right?
She looked a little tore up, brother.
Well, maybe we'll see more of her. I don't know.
I hope so.
Yes.
I definitely hope so.
We do know by the time this episode is coming out, so we'll pretend like, oh yeah, we see her. Real messed up.
Hey, Twin Peaks, everybody. Are you calling it Twin Peaks TNG as well? The Next Generation?
Now I am.
Yes, thank you. Tommy's a total asshole now, and it's great. He went from a tow-headed shithead kid to a monster coked up, I'm guessing, brunette. I mean, he's a beauty, but man.
Sure he is. What does he look like to you?
God, I don't know. Like, sort of like a melting David Hasselhoff a little bit.
Melting is exactly right. He looks a lot to me like, I'm looking up the actor's name, Eric Freeman, who plays Ricky in Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. He's, Garbage Day.
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
Yes, he does!
Yeah, he looks like Eric Freeman plus, who's been genetically spliced with a toad.
Ooh, Garbage Day indeed.
Yeah, he is, what's the actor? Gregory Scott Cummins, who actually legitimately has a career.
Yeah, a lot of, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, he's still in things. He's on the show Bosch right now. He's got a supporting role on that.
Nice.
The Amazon series, which is a show I really like to watch for some reason, because I just really like that there's a character whose name is Hieronymus Bosch and he's a detective. That's ridiculous.
Whoa. We were just talking about Hieronymus Bosch in a past episode.
We were, true. This is not the same one. This is a different one.
This is his first film.
But it does, I mean, to get a sense of what this man looks like without looking him up, on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he played a character named Big Ugly. So.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So, there you go.
Have you seen, this has been years since I've seen this, I don't remember it at all, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge?
I have not seen it, but I love the theme song. Which is by the Dickies.
Nice.
The pop punk band. And the movie stars Pauly Shore, I believe.
He plays Buzz.
Yeah.
I think it's time to revisit that.
So he's in that?
Yeah. He's like fifth build or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't play Eric.
The Phantom or the Mall. He could have played the Mall.
Oh my gosh, around the same time, in the same year actually, he was also in Action USA, which I'm a huge fan of.
What is that?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's just a real cheap-ass action film. He's actually the star of that. Jesus.
Is it cashing in on Invasion USA?
And Cameron Mitchell's in that movie, so...
What?
Jeez.
What?
Jeez.
He plays Frankie Navarro. Wow.
Oh, he's also in Cartel by that same director, which is another crazy low-budget action movie. Damn.
Holy shit. Do you know who else is in Action USA?
No, tell me.
Ross Hagen, the star of my favorite episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000, Side Hackers. He played Rommel, the side hacker. Oh my god.
Rommel, the side hacker.
Dude, I know everyone has their favorite, but that is my favorite.
He's also in Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. My gosh, he's in like every great action movie.
Nice.
Of the late 80s, early 90s. So great on you, Gregory Scott Cummins. We are fans.
Nice work if you can get it.
Yeah.
So Grandpa shows up to vaguely talk to Tommy about Halloween and what's going on that night. Meanwhile, Mom is watching very angrily from the window. When Grandpa leaves, Tommy takes off his sunglasses and then glares at the audience. I'm assuming he's glaring at his mother, but I just assumed he was glaring at the viewer of the film.
Well, we have a great moment right before that when Gramps and Tommy kiss devil horns in farewell. It's so cute. That's, the family farewell.
Oh my god. Why didn't, Bill just buy into it? He's in hell right now thinking, man, I should have just gone with that shit.
He's thinking, hey, it's not so bad here.
See you soon, Grandpa. So Mom teleports down the road to confront Grandpa before he can leave.
Okay, so here's my theory, my fan theory about Hack-O-Lantern. The Drindle clan has a special ability. I think it's inherited, it's genetic, that they are able to teleport. Because they are constantly, whenever somebody mentions their name, they will, pop out of a fucking bush somewhere and confront another one of their family members. It happens constantly. This is one of those occasions, but we'll see many more. Mrs. Drindle has the capability. Gramps has it. Tommy has it. They've all got it, and it's hilarious.
Man, I want it. I'm going to marry into that Drindle.
It's the Drindle and the Voorhees family. They've got the same genes.
Oh, man. Thank God they never mixed. The Unstoppable.
And wetter. So wet.
Jason XXX. No, wait. That's something else. Ooh. Let's see. So there's a great... let's not use the word great. There's a horribly disturbing flashback to incest.
Yeah, so is it implied here that Gramps is in fact Tommy's father?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because White Wedding, which I never knew was about incest until this movie. White Wedding. Yeah,
Gramps is a real champ and decides to molest his daughter on her wedding day. And but before doing that, before deciding to do that, he does the affectionate Drindle family thing of putting his devil horns to his daughter's forehead as sort of like an embrace. I guess it's kind of like have you seen the movie Face Off?
Yes.
How John Travolta does the face brush. Yeah. I think in the Drindle family, that's how they greet each other. They just rub devil horns on each other's faces.
That's hot stuff. Again, I want to marry into this family. I love incest. I love white wedding.
So the whole idea is that Mrs. Drindle is again saying, you can't take my son, leave my son alone. And Gramps says, no. And they have a really weird exchange before this scene ends, where Gramps says, quote, "The force of nature will conquer all," which I just take to mean that he's like an enterprising pumpkin farmer. I don't know how else I'm supposed to interpret that. And then Mom Drindle responds, quote, "It's not nature, it's death." So I guess that she's a produce realist? I don't know. Very strange.
That kind of bumping of ideologies, that conflict will destroy a family.
Yes. But you know what? Truth of the universe, all pumpkins must rot.
Ooh, nice. That is especially true in Florida because everything rots faster here.
Including the moral fiber.
Oh, that went first.
Long gone.
Hello, my lovely offspring.
Lay off him.
He's mine.
He is not your son. mine.
Now, we both know that Tommy belongs to the two of us together.
Just leave him alone. Let him have a life.
I have plans for Tommy. He will be a leader.
You have taken my husband from me.
No, your husband came to us. He shouldn't have done that.
Back at the house, while Mom is gardening, Beth shows up. Now, Beth is Vera's friend, and Beth is played by actress named Patricia Christie, she was in something called Lunch Meat, but not sure what that is.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, let's hope it wasn't a sexy movie with that title.
6 high school seniors on a camping trip are ambushed by killer rednecks who kill their victims and sell their remains to a local hamburger joint. That sounds great.
We need to track that down.
I know.
I didn't get that far in the plot description because I didn't read it.
Wow. Well, the whole thing's on YouTube, so...
Oh, we're doing this. Beth shows up, and she wants to see her pal Vera, who is all grown up now as well. And she's played by Carla Barron.
No. It's fair to say that she plays because this is a documentary. It's real life.
That's right. She's being herself. She's just using a fake name to avoid being penalized. This actress, Carla Barron, was in some fun stuff. She was in the unfortunately rapey Necromancer. She was in the not at all rapey and totally awesome Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama.
I mean, I do think that imp is like, he's getting I believe he's on a sex offender registry somewhere.
Yes.
In whatever nether zone he came from.
Fair enough. She was also in something called Terror Night from 87, which is also called Bloody Movie.
Yes, I recognize the title of Bloody Movie.
It's a little boring.
Oh, Cameron Mitchell.
Cameron Mitchell again.
From the producer of Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, what does mine say? Sweet. What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet. What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet. What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet!
It was definitely a film I watched. It's a lot of one location. Wait, we need to get out of here. Run to the other side of the location. This door's locked. Wait, run to the other side of the location. This door's locked too. Oh my God. And it's a lot of that for an entire film.
All right. Well, she was also in Jag Mundra's The Jigsaw Murders too.
Ooh, look at that. He's got a troupe, everybody.
Yep, he found people who did not accept payment, and he's like, well, I guess I'll just keep hiring you.
Hey. Suckers.
Pretty much.
Luckily, Vera grew up because now we see her naked in the bath. I'd be very upset if she was still the same age.
And she is not very observant because she scrubs herself with a tarantula while bathing.
She was looking for her loofah. And instead, this hilariously fake, stupid-looking spider, which is like, Ricardo Frito was like, that spider's too fake.
Ricardo Frito, when he saw it, he screamed.
He said, ah! That looks so real.
Of course, Vera freaks out, and Beth jumps out and says, it's only a dummy. To which Vera, of course, responds, it's a loofah, doofus.
Nice.
But also, I do quibble with her usage here. I don't think a fake spider could be classified as a dummy. I think our props are being mislabeled.
Maybe it's just really dumb.
Nope, won't get me there.
So, I wrote in my notes, great gag, Beth. So it's party time. It's the big Halloween party for these. Now, this is just what I thought, Jeffrey. This is just what I thought. This is not any bearing in what happens in the movie. I thought these were high schoolers.
Well, I mean, it's very confusing what age they're supposed to be.
They're mentally high school or middle school aged, but physically they're adults.
I mean, Vera must have been 6 in the opening scene, and so this is... 13 years later, so she's like 18.
Yeah.
I mean, in film logic, but I mean, they're all 30, 40 years old. And the event that they're all preparing for, we're assuming it's going to be like a high school Halloween dance. Oh boy, is it not.
Yeah. We're on the same page.
It's really not that at all. So
No.
yeah, I don't understand this town they're living in. I mean,
so Beth wants to go as Princess Di, and I said, too soon, man. Don't blow out that candle in the wind.
I wrote, oof, too soon. Yes. Yep. We had the same idea.
Too soon, too late, too everything.
And the people doing the subtitles on the disc that I watched wrote it as DIE, which is...
I wrote that in my notes.
That's so rude.
They are just like me. So maybe they're millennials and they don't know who she is.
Well, in the scene, Vera also says that that her mom has been such a bummer about Halloween since her husband got brutally murdered.
God, it's so good. Okay, everything in this movie that isn't a stalking sequence, everything in this movie that isn't a satanic cult moment, all the dialogue that is just happening in this movie is so great.
I would say 80% of it is puns.
Yes.
There's so many puns that I'm cringing.
Perfect. I just want this movie to be longer, but just talking. I love it.
Yeah, we get some of this in the next scene with Deputy Roger.
Oh, shit.
Who's grown up to, as we said previewed before, he's grown up to be a law enforcement officer. He makes some terrible puns, so much so that I feel like he's auditioning to be a co-host of this podcast. But, I think we can cut him. No room.
Oh, this is Roger, played by Jeff Brown. And he's in a movie called Lady Avenger. And a woman gets killed and he avenges her. He's the Lady Avenger. Oh, no, wait. No, there's a woman who is the Lady Avenger. Sorry. But it's a David DeCoteau jam.
Oh, yeah.
So it's either wonderfully watchable or interminable, depending on what mood he was in the day he directed it. Because it took a day.
Yes. Depending on, which of the films that day that he was filming.
Oh, multiple films per day?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, one of them's interminable, the other one is a joy.
We've got a lot to watch from this movie. The stuff that these people were in, it looks really interesting.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh. Lady Avenger. It's no, I don't know, movie? Something. I had nothing.
Okay.
I had no joke there. We'll cut that.
Okay.
He is at the police station with his coworkers, and all of the banter here is great. So many puns and just stupid shit. They don't take him seriously. It's great. But should they?
And they're all Halloween puns, too.
Oh, I know. So good.
The sheriff calls him useless, and so sends him. His mission is going to be chaperoning the Halloween party.
Yes, which again, you'd think high school.
Yeah, sounds ridiculous, but no, actually ends up being entirely necessary based on what it ends up being.
Oh man!
In fact, I'm actually concerned that he does not break it up.
You're a lucky stiff, rookie. Working a Halloween party while I'm stuck here doing paperwork. Well, I'll be sure to carve a jack-o'-lantern that looks just like you. And to think it's in your own town. How sweet. Remember, Roger, I want you to check out that cemetery. There's been another grave overturned.
Sure, Sarge. I know it's a grave situation, but I'll get to the bottom of it.
You're useless.
Back at the house, Mom is screaming at Tommy through his bedroom door. And much like me as a teenager, or a 45-year-old Manager? What? A 45-year-old man teenager. His only escape is his Maxell Type 2 high-bias audio cassettes.
If you want high performance from your tape deck, get the high-performance tape.
And much like you, he spent all of his time shirtless and grunting while imagining snuff music videos in his head.
Oh, man. I actually was never really comfortable with my shirt off. I'm a never nude. Just kidding. I'm nude. I'm nude right now. It's Halloween. Woo! I'm naked.
I'm a pumpkin. You ever seen a pumpkin wearing pants? No.
Want to see a pumpkin carve itself? I don't know what that means. That's a sex thing.
Well, that's definitely what Tommy's doing in this scene.
Yeah. We cut immediately to a beautiful, beautiful music video / nightmare. A nightmare fantasy.
Yeah, sex fantasy, really.
Yeah. And it's a band. Oh, man, this band. I sent you some of their music, Jeffrey.
You did. I don't think it quite lived up to this song. What's the name of the band?
So, yeah, DC LaCroix. Very, very, very rockin' band. Let me tells ya.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They have an album that I find very intriguing called Crack of Doom, which is not a good name for anything.
Crack of Doom is what happens when High Pike bends over.
Oh no, butt joke. Crack.
Yeah. It's, he bends over a lot when he's picking up those pumpkins.
Aside from Devil's Son, they also have a song called Black Sunday. Another one called Under Thunder. And the title track, Crack of Doom, referring to High Pike's butt crack. I love it.
Allegedly.
So what's going on in this video, dude?
Well, it is a performance. This band is playing, joined on bass by Tommy Drindle himself. I actually don't know if he's playing bass. I don't know anything about music. He's in the band. I think it's fair to say whatever he's playing, it ain't plugged in.
No.
They are playing, and then between, in this weird, musty doorway, pops out Shiva the Destroyer, I guess. It's a little confusing. She is supposed to be some sort of Indian goddess, but she also is dressed. I mean, she's a black woman, and she has sort of an African motif to her dress and stuff. So it's very confusing what exactly is going on here. The most important thing to note is that she shoots Manitow laser beams from her eyeballs. And slowly she laser beams all of the band into non-existence. Before that, she does laser beam a shrunken head onto the drum set cymbal, which is cool. She sends the rest of the band off to the Phantom Zone. Then she lasers Tommy's guitar into a pitchfork / trident.
Yes.
And then she gives Tommy's neck some serious razor burn until his head falls up, and then she picks it up and smiles at it. And there's your VHS box art.
Boom. Okay, I wrote 2 things about this music video / nightmare. 1, this has got a good plot. And 2... this reminded me of an honest-to-goodness urban legend that my friend told me when I was a teenager.
What?
When I was a kid, and I was too scared to listen to heavy metal, so I was 11. Right before I got into, Anthrax and Iron Maiden and all that stuff. I was hanging out with a bad kid, one of my mom's co-workers' sons. He was a bad kid because he had a denim jacket with an Iron Maiden patch on the back. He told me that if you get drunk on, vodka and then go to sleep while listening to Iron Maiden's The Number of the Beast, Satan will come and scare you awake. You will see Satan if you do if you have that combination.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I should try that sometime. Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, try it.
Oh, you've tried it?
No. I'm saying do it and report back.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll wait.
Okay, I'm drunk. Oh, Satan. Oh!
Sweaty McSweaty, Tommy wakes up from this nightmare.
Can we just call him Garbage Day?
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
Garbage Day, old Tommy, whatever. So he wakes up, and then we cut to Roger showing up, and he's riding some kind of a motorized, 2-wheeled automatic bicycle machine. I'm not sure what it is.
I wouldn't call it a motorcycle, no.
No, okay.
Here's Roger. He is the good son. He's the good son in the Macaulay Culkin sense.
Ooh, I like that.
he goes to talk to Mom, and Mom is very concerned about Tommy, as she's been for the past 13 years. She expresses that she's afraid of the company he's been keeping, which we do learn a little bit about that company in the next scene. We learned that company... they're Heineken drinkers. So, in fact, I do agree with Mom. This is a problem crowd.
Dude, you're getting a Heine. I love it.
Heine is, in fact, quite important about the crowd that he's been hanging out with, because his only friend really is Nora, who, quote, has what everyone else doesn't have, which is a tattoo on her butt.
Okay, all right, folks. I am digging this movie at this point. This is where I'm like, man, this movie's great. This convenience store scene is when I straight up fucking love this movie. This movie breaks in the best way possible. So we cut to this convenience store, and we see the famous Nora, and she, of course, has a tattoo on her butt. We're going to find out later it's actually a brand.
Yes.
Because you get a brand on your butt from Satan. Now, my brain was like, wow, this actress, Gina Fine, sure has a lot of credits. Man, she must be... Oh.
Yeah.
She's a porn star, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I just was thinking she was like this, just one of those people that loved to work and made cameos and things.
Well, arguably, she did enjoy working.
Yes. She was in such classics as Dirty Bob's Excellent, that's Xcellent, Adventures 35, 37, 32, and 29.
Yeah.
New Wave Hookers 5. Nice, The Naughty, and the Bad. I like that. And, of course, 1998, Blowjob Adventures of Dr. Fellatio 14. And Girl Crazy 2.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is Girl Crazy 2?
There's no plot synopsis. I'm going to Google.
And then she was also in some very depraved pornography, like the Boondock Saints. And
that movie, I can't. No. I remember seeing that when I was like a younger man, and I was like, man, that was great. That person who said that is now dead. Fuck that fucking movie in the hole.
Rest in peace.
Ugh. Anyway, the reason I love this so much, not just because she's wearing weird, revealing yet not sexy clothes, but she's talking to the proprietor and buying some things, but the gang that's watching her, I call them the goofballs.
Yeah, Brian and the goofballs.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. The scene is with live sound. Until we get to the goofballs, they're all post-dubbed. And my brain exploded. Like, I love it so much. Like, they just sound so unnatural and so stupid with their dubbing. It feels like this is a secret Italian horror film for like 30 seconds. It's so fun.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
So what does Nora Bennington have that I don't have?
For one thing, a tattoo on her butt.
Yeah, I bet you go for that sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah, and word has it, that girl is in some pretty weird stuff.
Yeah, well, she has to be weird. She hangs around with Tommy Drindle.
Rich bitch.
Hey, come on, guys, let's go. I promised Vera we'd help decorate the party hall. Miss?
Yeah, so they are Beth and Vera's friends. Again, they seem like they're high schoolers, but they're way too old, and they are the organizers of the party later. So
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a bunch of adults who act like high schoolers. It's so weird.
Oh, man.
And they're all very put off by Nora because of her butt tattoo. Nora is wearing bottoms that kind of look like a diaper.
Not attractive.
It's not the best look. So yeah.
It's what girls are wearing nowadays. She was like ahead of her time. Like everyone's taking those old mom jeans and slicing them up to make Daisy Dukes, and everyone looks horrible now.
But these are beyond Daisy Dukes. I mean, they are really... they're just diapers. So she brings the Heinekens out to Tommy, who's waiting at the car. And Tommy makes the fatal mistake of talking about Grandpa, which summons him like a Beetlejuice you only have to say the name of once.
Oh my God.
Grandpa pops out of a fucking bush as he does.
This is so good.
To scold Tommy about his responsibilities of being the Antichrist. And we also find out from this conversation that Gramps buys his satanic candles at the town's general store, which is hilarious.
What's even more magical here is that he has to be pure for the ritual. So he tells him not to mess around with his Nora character because he needs to be pure for a satanic ritual.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck does that mean? That's insane.
Worrying about blood diseases. I don't know.
And she's already in the cult. We're going to find out later.
This scene, so they drive away, and the scene ends on a close-up of High Pike, Gramps, who literally just mumbles gibberish to himself. You might think that it's dialogue, but no. In fact, the subtitles on the disc I was watching actually just said, in parentheses, speaking gibberish.
Oh, that's great. And accurate.
Yeah. I wonder if High Pike just forgot his lines and was just like, I can pull through this.
So Nora drops Tommy off. And then she tells him, I'll be in the pool all afternoon if you change your mind. And I'm like, yes, please, Tommy, change your mind because you need to not be pure for that satanic ritual. Do not listen to Grandpa.
You know, when somebody says that they're going to spend all day in the pool, we think they're exaggerating, but Nora's not exaggerating. She really means it.
We get Beth and Vera hanging, and they're having one of my favorite conversations in the movie. They're basically talking about getting laid. And I love it. There's a lot of talk about this Brian character. Can't wait to meet that sultry lad.
Yes. Vera's planning that's her boyfriend, and she's planning to get it on with him. They're going to go trick-or-treating. And if you know what I mean. Yeah. And Beth kind of insinuates that Vera is a prostitute for wanting to sleep with her boyfriend, which is real not nice.
Thanks, asshole.
And it's also discovered that Beth is kind of into Roger, the normal brother.
Nice. Normie.
And throughout this scene and scenes to come, Beth is wearing something I can only describe as a Starfleet turtleneck.
Yes, that's exactly what she's wearing. Oh, man. We cut to Tommy working out, and I wrote, he sounds like he's going to have a coronary before he finishes these reps here. Oh, my God.
You know, he's still thinking about that dream from before.
Of course. Did you see the movie poster he has in his room?
Well, he's got a couple movie posters, yeah.
I recognize one.
I recognize three.
Well, see, I'm working with the VHS version here, so...
True. Yeah, in this one we see the Dead End Drive-In poster.
Yes, that's the one I saw.
The Brian Trenchard Smith film, which has a much better poster than the movie, I think.
Bullshit. That movie's great.
I love Brian Trenchard Smith, but that one ain't a favorite.
You're crazy. That movie's awesome.
He also has a Jigsaw Murders poster.
He got a deal on that one.
Yeah. And also a poster, my favorite one, a poster for George Romero's Season of the Witch.
Really? See, I thought it was just a generic witch poster.
No, it's under the title The Witch, but it is in fact the poster art for Season of the Witch.
I still have not seen that.
Oh my God, get on it.
Okay.
So Tommy does have a few other things adorning his wall, like that Irish red beer, Killian's. He's got like a big label for that. He also has some graffiti, which I don't know what it says. I think it says Sarts, but then it has EX written in smaller letters next to the S. So it looks like sex arts. I don't fucking know.
Wow. That's exactly what I had written on my room wall.
Yeah, it's room wall. In your mom's basement? Yeah.
Yep. Just her banging on the door, yelling at me all the time.
So Roger is let into this basement abode for some brotherly bonding.
What does he say, though? What does he comment on the first thing when he comes in?
So little what did it say, damp in here? Or?
Like musty.
Musty. And Tommy, who's really going for like a John Rambo or like John Kreese in Karate Kid look says, I like it that way.
Oh man, it's so good.
And they don't really, this bonding goes kind of awry. Tommy freaks out Roger when he says, "Let me show you something." And then he opens up a closet and shows Roger his candle collection. And he tells him, "That's right, I'm a YouTube candle vlogger now." Which shows us that he has indeed picked up all of Grandpa's dirty habits.
Oh my God. You're so topical. Oh my God. I just love this part so much. The satanic altar is so metal. Oh my God. Like, yeah!
I don't know. I find it pretty relaxing.
Well, yours, of course.
I want him to describe the smells to me.
I'm just guessing. Oh, you mean the smells of the candles? I was going to describe the smell of that room.
No, the candles are all must scented.
Oh, they're all patchouli and cheese.
It's like must, sweat, cheese, and semen. Those are the smells.
Or Cool Ranch Doritos.
Cool Ranch Dorito crumbs. So you just get like a...
Not the chips.
Yeah, it's like couch and crumbs. That's the smell of the candle. Yeah.
They get into it and they're arguing. It's great. I think Tommy's like choking Roger or something. It's so fun. And then we cut to Mom at her husband's grave, remembering just the good times, which consist of her staring blankly into space while he's asleep.
Yeah, it's so weird. So yeah, it's supposed to be a romantic flashback. But it's literally Bill is passed out and she looks like she's traumatized.
Well, you know what it is? That scene was probably supposed to be after she was raped by her dad. Like, wow. I think that's what they were for. So they said, use that flashback here. So it makes no fucking sense.
I bet you are right. Yeah.
Oh man, it's so fun.
What a romantic wedding night.
Then Beth and Vera are talking about Roger and how dreamy he is, and then Mom teleports and scares them.
Well, before that, though, there's a line of dialogue when they're discussing Roger. Vera says, I hope this isn't going to turn to something X-rated or illegal. And Beth responds by saying, I hope it does. And you know what? Me too, Beth. Me too.
We all are in your corner on this one, lady. God, it's so good. Then we cut to Nora Bennington swimming in her sheer top, or she's been in the pool so long that it was like a heavy, like, what do you call it? Like a flannel shirt that just got eaten up by the chlorine to become a see-through shirt.
I mean, she's been in that pool so long that her prune tattoo now looks like a California raisin.
Oh my God, it's so adorable. I love this character. She's a porn star.
Yeah.
Then she gets out of the pool and she's wearing a hilariously unflattering 80s thong underwear bikini. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a step up from a diaper, but not by much.
Although, I'm going to say this sequence, when she's like taking her clothes off, reminds me, I am pro-witch. Very pro-witch, very pro-Satan at this point.
Not pro-season of the witch, though. Get on that.
I'm going to work on that.
Okay.
So, a Satanist creeper is creeping, while good old Nora is punkifying her hair.
Yeah, this is our first real appearance of the red-robed figure wearing the mask.
Yes.
How would you describe the look of this mask? I mean, it's not, I would say it's an iconic mask, but that might be giving it a little bit too much credit.
To me, it looks like if Satan had sex with a walrus.
Yes.
But it was consensual. It wasn't like rape.
Oh yeah, this is a love child.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like somebody pillaged the makeup department of Demons 5 and then just like stuck some walrus horns on it. Yeah, yes. For sure. Like more tusks, please.
I think that Rasta demon should show up in this movie. Be pretty good.
Yeah, why not?
She sees the Goofy Goof mask killer, and if this mask fools her, she thinks it's Tommy, and we don't know if it's Tommy or not because this is a mystery after all.
She is not the first person to see this Satan walrus and go, wow, I'm horny now.
Oh, dude. She says, well, first she says, I'm going to have a Bloody Mary. And then she says, I'm Lady Godiva. Want to play my horsey? I might be paraphrasing that, but...
no, it's pretty close. Yeah.
So the killer takes off his pants, and they have a sensual sex scene that goes on for at least 5 to 7 minutes.
This is not true.
No, he kills her. What does he kill her with?
He kills her with, again, I had to look this up. It's called a 3-prong cultivator.
Whoa. Dude, that is awesome. You are so going farm boy on this
Shoves
episode.
it right in her head and neck.
That's good.
She's the only one talking during this scene, and this is really our first scene of her with prolonged dialogue. And she has a really funny voice. It's like this plugged nose, flat affectation. Oof. It's unique.
You know what's terrible? I didn't even notice it. I thought she sounded great.
She needs to open up that nasal canal, I think. But yeah,
that
it's
would
great.
That would limit her range as an actress, my friend.
Nice costume, Tommy. You scared the hell out of me, okay? Jesus, I need a drink now.
Well, I think it's time for a Halloween spooky ooky commercial break. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors that absolutely paid for this episode. So if you have a problem with this episode, take it up with our sponsors. Thank you.
Wednesday, it's a hair-raising Halloween happening. Can she begin it first? That Emmy-winning Fat Cat. It's the Trick-or-Treat Trail. I'm no scaredy cat. It's all new Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Then,
I hear the Great Pumpkin.
the Halloween classic, It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, right after Garfield.
It's positively frightening.
The Country Fair Flea Market's Halloween sale is this Sunday, October 29th, with free cider, donuts, and candy. Over 100 exhibitors and Frankenstein. That's right, Frankenstein. The Country Fair Flea Market, located on Mound Road at M59 in Shelby Township. Free admission and plenty of free parking. For more information, call 254-7110.
Come to a Halloween sale going on now.
It's alive! My most perfect creation! Gee, I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, bat bones, and toad toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's a face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
It's monstrous.
Chief, that wasn't a monster. That was the captain of the high school basketball team.
It's hair-raising. It's Homer in 3D.
Holy macaroni!
Don't miss an all-new Simpsons Halloween special.
Cool, man.
Part of Fox's Halloween Bash, Sunday.
And we're back.
And we're much richer now.
Ha ha ha. Thanks, sponsorios.
Our coffers are full.
Oreos? Is that when you get free cookies?
Where are my cookies, Oreos? I'm waiting.
Oreo. So, Grandpa comes...
What if oh my god, I could totally imagine, the time like selling out immediately after Purple Rain and being in an Oreo commercial where they do a cover version of their own song. Yeah. I say that with total affection for the time.
Of course. Grandpa comes by the party that's being set up, and he, of course, a serial incester, creepy to good old Vera, his granddaughter.
Yes, and feels threatened by her boyfriend, Brian.
I would be too. He's very threatening.
He looks a lot like... what's the actor's name? I gotta look him up. I think his name is Michael McDonald, but I'm not positive. He's the guy from Mad TV who plays Stuart.
Ah.
Yeah, Michael McDonald, that is his name.
That's hilarious.
He looks a lot like him.
This actor, his name is Larry Coven, which is not, that can't be his real name.
I think you mean Colvin.
Oh, Coven. Who am I to change the pronunciation of that classic phrase? Coven. This actor was also in Dark Romances 2, which is interesting.
Wow.
Love it. That's two people in the same thingamajig.
Mm-hmm.
Brian tries to save the day, and he gets all in this guy's face, and she's like, hey, it's okay. It's my grandpa. And I'm like, wow, how awkward to know that you're related to this complete piece of shit.
Yeah, it's more like, well, it's my grandpa, and it's still not okay. That makes it especially not okay.
Oh my god. So then Roger shows up, and Grandpa gives Roger some crap too. And he says to him, again, a compliment, see you in hell, Roger. And I wrote, what a nice man.
And Roger, just explains afterwards, well, our family sure is opinionated. I love that line. Oh. It's so stupid.
So Roger meets Brian, finally, the meeting of the two hottest dudes in town. And all of their conversation together is pure gold. All of it. All of it. Vera then begins talking up Beth to Roger. And then Roger goes inside and immediately comes out holding hands with Beth.
Well, Roger does talk to somebody else, though.
Oh, yeah. What's that dude? What's up with that dude?
Well, it's one of the friend group. He was with them in the convenience store earlier.
Oh, okay.
He is decorating while standing on a ladder. He comes down, and Roger... It's just a quick cutaway shot. Roger asks him, hey, what are you doing? And the guy just says, punk rocker, dude, and very weakly crushes his beer can against his forehead. And then we cut away.
Dude.
What a shot. This is what we call in the business character development.
I'm telling you, this is screenwriting 101, everybody. Pay attention.
Save the cat, punk rocker, dude.
So we see Roger holding hands with Beth, and I'm like, whoa, slow down. That's moving too fast, you guys. Then I realize what's going to happen in a few minutes, and I'm like, okay, never mind, it's fine.
At some point here, Vera asks for Roger's first impression of Beth, and Roger then proceeds to give her his best Daffy Duck and Christopher Walken. Then he rides away with Beth on his tricycle.
Oh, so good. Oh, it's so much fun. At the house, Tommy walks into his own home and hears something horrifying happening.
It's the sound of necking. Naked necking.
Ugh, yeah. Brian and Vera are about to make the sex act when Tommy gets really jealous of Brian because that's my sister. He roughs up, beats up Brian, and throws him out of the house.
Yep, drags him all the way downstairs.
Man, it's so good.
The absolute best detail in this scene, which is a pretty ridiculous scene, is when he picks Brian up and throws him against Vera's wall. We see that Vera has the cover art for Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band Live 75-85 pasted on her wall, but with an obese Asian man's face cut out from a magazine and placed over Bruce's. I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do you say about that? I don't know what to say about it.
She has great taste?
I mean, I think we need to give more credit to the set decorator here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree with you there.
This is a world that feels lived in.
Once Brian is out of the house, Tommy goes back to his hole in the earth and puts on his Rambo-style headband and then pulls out the fakest knife I've ever seen in the earth or world of movies.
In fact, it's weird that you say that Tommy goes back to his hole because Brian is about to go back to his hole as well.
Oh! Ding, 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 ding! So Brian is walking through the cemetery and grumbling hilariously.
And buckling his belt the whole way. He really can do it.
So he's being stalked. And
yeah.
It's a very spooky scene. Like, the atmosphere here is really broad daylighty.
Yeah,
I think our character, our favorite Italian actor, Dea Fernita, should have showed up.
Yeah, this is before she changed her name. Broad Daylighty. And again, I think the Drindle family does kind of have, maybe they're like distant cousins of the Voorhees family, because our killer here is pursuing in incredibly lazy fashion. But Brian, our victim, is like running nevertheless. While he's running, like all losers like him do, trips and falls into an open grave immediately in front of him. He falls into it, and immediately his hand grasps and picks up a human skull.
Yes.
And he says, while hamming it up, "Alas, poor Nora, I knew her by her bum, Horatio."
Oh my God. You just quoted Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. Our killer teleports, arrives right at the graveside. Bizarrely, Brian asks for the killer's help in getting out of the hole. Like, yeah, you really think this like devil billy goat walrus is going to help you out? Okay.
No.
Nope. Killer uses a shovel to split Brian's skull in two.
Yeah. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I like it. It kind of lingers on it for a moment. But our killer is so lazy, he doesn't even bother filling the grave, and he just throws the shovel into the dirt and seemingly walks away. I have a theory about who actually covers Brian up. We'll see them soon.
Oh, I'm excited.
So I don't think it's our killer. Our killer, again, I think is much too lazy for any of that.
We cut to a silly phone call where Vera is telling Roger about what happened with Tommy and Brian. But who called who? She's on her phone in her room, presumably, and he's at a payphone. Did he call home to check in? Did she call a payphone randomly?
No, it must have been him calling her.
I love it.
Vera tells Roger to make sure to bring Beth back to the house before the party, before 7 o'clock, or else she'll turn back into a pumpkin.
So many pumpkins.
Roger says that he and Beth are outside by a fruit stand, and Beth is currently buying passion fruit.
What?
To symbolize their passion. But I think what's most interesting here is this is perhaps the only fruit stand in film to be within 20 feet of a cop and survive.
Must have been having an off day. Man. A woman is distracting him from his driving through a fruit stand duties.
Well, you know what our sheriff said. Useless.
That came back to haunt him. I did not expect that. So Mom shows up, and she's all disheveled, and she's being an asshole to Vera. It's great.
Yeah, this scene is very Twin Peaksy, I would say, actually. The soundtrack is getting all Badalamenti.
Nice.
It feels kind of like Laura's theme. And Mom's got some heavy-duty Sarah Palmer vibes, I'd say. Yeah, nice. So, ahead of its time.
Mom, what happened to you? Are you okay?
I've been out working in the orchard. Somebody has to take care of this ranch your father left behind.
Oh, Mom.
Roger, he leaves home to become a cop. Tommy, so aloof and distant.
Violent. He beat up Brian and tossed him out the door.
You only have time for your friends.
Mom, that's not true.
You treat me like I'm the enemy. And all I want is to keep my family together.
Mom, relax. Come on, let's go inside the house and get you cleaned up, okay?
That night, the Black Mass has begun, and they have a new member for the cult, and it looks like a very rare creature indeed, but they do show up in these California movies. I believe it is a bimbo.
Hey, rude.
It's just the hair. It's so funny. She's like, oh my god, this cult is so great. Oh my god, ow my butt. They brand her on the butt, so now she's the new Nora.
I do enjoy her modesty, though. She is buck naked, barring some long black elbow-length lady gloves.
Yes. This is Diane Trimble. She's going to play two characters in this movie, according to IMDb. She is branding witch and party stripper.
Oh, yes.
Which blew my mind.
Yeah.
She did not go on to do anything else. I expected her to be another porn star, but hey, what are you going to do? Unrealized potential, my friends.
I mean, I honestly think she might have been an actual stripper who was hired.
That's true. Maybe she was an off-camera porn star.
I don't know what that means.
I'm just glad I said that.
As Gramp says, share the blood, pass the Hep C.
Oh! Beth and Roger go snooping through the cemetery. I think Roger saw some kids. Well, he thought was some devilry going on in the cemetery.
No, I think the more likely thing here is that he actually does see some kids and decides to pull his gun on them because that's what they do in Pumpkin Valley, USA.
Hacktown in the O-Lantern
County.
So this kid's being suspicious, and they have this horrible excuse. We dropped our candy. And I'm like, yeah, right. Get out of here, you fucking grave robbers.
What were you kids doing here by the grave?
We dropped all the candy, that's all. Yeah, we're just trying to pick it all up.
Oh, go on now, kids. This guy was going to shoot you.
Yeah, so, I mean, here's what. I believe that they probably were the ones who buried up Brian's corpse after they got done poking it with sticks.
I don't know. I don't believe it. I think it was Mom.
I don't think so.
I like your theory better, but I think it was Mom. That's why she was so dirty.
No way. These kids were up to something.
Oh, they definitely are there for puns. We get like our second grave pun in the movie.
Second? Give me a break.
Like it's a real grave situation.
This is at least like the 8th, but yeah.
So the kids leave. Now I'm glad they left because Beth and Roger are about to have sex. They're about to make the sex act right here in the graveyard. But what's amazing about this is that the actress who plays Beth obviously didn't want to take her top off, so they make this big thing of her pulling her pants down. They don't show her butt or anything, but it's like they kiss and then she takes a few steps back and starts to pull down her pants and she's keeping her eyes on Roger. And it's the creepiest thing. I'm like, what is this, the crying game? Like, she's not sure if he's going to want her penis or not. Like, it's so awkward. Oh my God, this movie.
I mean, the weird thing here is I think the weirdest thing is the fact that they see a giant, freshly buried grave, and they're like, oh, this mound is where we must make love.
Oh, man. Perfect.
You know, you're going to do it in the graveyard, find a more established plot of land, let's say.
Of course, we're both freaking out over the weird shit that's happening, but the movie is trying to be all, like, darkly ironic and stuff by having her hold hands with the body that's buried in the ground.
Brian's cold corpse hand.
Oh, my God, it's so funny.
Oh, you're so cold. Shouldn't you be warm?
Oh, and that is what makes her horny, is the cold hand.
Oh, God. I love your cold, wet flesh.
What a great scene.
So we cut from here to maybe the coolest Halloween party of all time.
Oh, wait, was that accidental necrophilia?
I don't know. I don't want to go there.
Okay, sorry. Please continue.
It's like necrophilia adjacent.
Can you necrophile me, brother?
So the movie does finally arrive in illegal and X-rated territory at this cool kids Halloween party where no one under 45 is allowed.
No, sir.
Boy, oh boy. How do we describe the denizens of this party?
Well, I get distracted by the band. They're called Mercenaries.
Uh-huh.
And they're infinitely more horrible than DC LaCroix. So it's a lot of fun.
I like them.
Oh, you like them? Good.
Yeah, good song.
But yeah, the people at this party, I mean, they just look like the living embodiment of Bennigan's.
The restaurant?
Yeah.
How so?
Or, you know, like the Sizzler.
Yeah, okay. I would say that this party looks like Halloween night at Club Applebee's. So there are some weird-ass costumes.
So many strange costumes.
There's one woman who's dressed up, I swear she's dressed up like Bat Pussy. Are you familiar with that movie, which is soon coming to Blu-ray?
No, what is Bat Pussy?
Well, it's a parody porno film. It's just these two incredibly ugly people having sex for like an hour. But the beginning of it is this woman kind of dressed up as Batman, kind of.
Oh my God.
In like a really low end Batman costume, and she bounces across the desert on a bouncy ball, like one of those balls you can sit on. Like that's her Batmobile.
What?
Yeah, and she bounces all the way home so she can have sex with her disgusting husband.
That's amazing.
So yeah, she's dressed a little bit like Bat Pussy. There's a whole range of bizarre costumes. There's one person who looks like it's a man with a mustache in like a Lucille Bluth cosplay. There are various cowpokes.
These people are credited in the credits. That was a good sentence. In their costumes. So continue, but I'm gonna tell you what the good old IMDb says these people are.
Okay, so I mean, there's a Tarzan.
Yeah.
There's a Vietnam vet with a head wound, which seems really tasteful.
Love that guy.
There's a chubby male hula girl. And Little Bo Barbara Steele, which will...
Oh, that's my second favorite. IMDb says Cat Girl, Caribbean Girl, Spaceman, Sword Warrior, The Unfortunate Party Comedian, Geisha Gangster, Cowboy Number 2, Cowboy Number 1.
Wait, is there a Geisha Gangster? Because that would be pretty cool.
Oh, no, the Geisha, Gangster.
I gotcha.
Oh, I wish there was Geisha Gangster. Then a goddamn comedian shows up. Okay, and I wrote in my notes.
Whoa, wait, hold on. No, because before then we've got the striptease, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. God, fucking notes. Sorry.
It's your customary rec center Halloween full Monty striptease.
My God.
That is our branded Coven initiate from earlier. She comes and gets totally naked in front of Julius Caesar. So fucking weird.
I wrote, I so thought this was a high school party. What the hell's going on?
I know, and Deputy Roger is just watching the whole time.
Watching the action.
Good, wholesome fun.
So then we go outside, and this guy who acts like a person, at first he acts like a human being, because he's, God, have you guys seen this stripper? Oh my God. Then he immediately launches into his comedy routine.
Yeah, I'd say this guy is a real turkey.
I wrote in my notes, is this the guy from Fright House?
A little bit. We can't tell because he's dressed up like Steve Guttenberg. Like that's his Halloween costume.
This is not a good act. He does not have a good act.
It's so bad. His jokes do not work. First of all, like his opening material is about like nudie magazines, but it's like not even a joke. It's a broken joke. He's like, yeah, you know my favorite part of the nudie magazines? It's the naked girl.
I thought he was going to say the Staples. That's funny. That could have been a joke.
Funnier. He moves on to his fucking Thanksgiving material.
Oh, God.
That's how limited his set is. Ugh.
No Halloween jokes?
No.
Okay, folks, I don't normally say this on Hello, This is the Doom Show, but this is the perfect time to go to the fridge and crack a beer. During this moment this guy starts talking, go to your refrigerator, whatever beer you like, get a beer. It is so crazy.
No, pause it because you gotta catch it all.
Oh, you don't want to miss his hijinks? No,
I mean this is a one of a kind turkey impression. He is going full on Simple Jack in this turkey impression. It's a Academy Award performance level, I would say.
What are you guys doing out here? Didn't you see the stripper in there? You didn't see the stripper? What's wrong with you guys? You should have seen her. She was great. She had like the biggest blue eyes you've ever seen. And boy, you know, she reminded me of one of those girls from the girly magazines. You ever see those girls? And the girl, like my favorite part in there is the naked girl. I love the naked girl. But now I got a favorite brand new part.
So Beth actually takes Vera away from the party back to the cemetery to actually literally show her the place where her and her brother Roger boned.
Oh, before they do that though, there's a great moment where they're in the room and she says, "Hey, this lovely family photo you have, can I have it?" Vera's like, "No, you can't have my family photo, asshole."
I swear.
So good.
These Drindles are so opinionated.
So yeah, she's bragging about boffing Roger, and then she's like, "No, wait,
come on.
You have
it's
to."
It's not boffing. It's got to be boning.
I'm sorry, boning or making.
They're in
the
a
sex act.
cemetery. They're in a cemetery.
Boning.
It's boning.
Bone jokes. This is definitely a making the sex act kind of a conversation. She's like, "Show me where you had sex." So they go to the frickin' cemetery, like you said. It's crazy, and I love it.
And while there, Vera is able to use her functioning eyeballs, unlike Beth, and notice the corpse.
Yes. She thinks it's all a prank. Great prank, man. And then so they pull Brian's body out of the ground, and it's so good. So much fun.
And Vera immediately pledges revenge against Tommy, who she knows is responsible.
Oh my god. So we get a brief moment back at the party with the rockin' band. But then Vera goes to the Black Mass to confront Tommy. She says, "This is a family matter." And Beth says, "Some family."
Some family, such opinions.
Oh my god. And then when she interrupts the ceremony, she runs in and Grandpa gets all mad and says, "You have intruded on the ceremony of blood, and you will pay for this sacrilege."
Yeah, that's a wonderful impression, actually.
Thank you.
It is important to stress how he pronounces the word blood.
Blood.
Which is blood. Also, I fucking love that Grandpa is wearing his flannel under his ceremonial robes.
It's cold out.
And his belly, sticks out perfectly from,
oh my god.
Just this perfectly round belly sticking out of these robes. And during the ceremony, because now, Vera's got to pay the price. She's all tied up. Tommy's got to sacrifice her. Gramps is trying to get a chant started, but he can't get everybody to correctly chant blood. So it's not going so well.
Oh my god.
He's egging Tommy on, but of course Tommy cannot do it. He can't sacrifice his kind of beloved sister. He cuts her ropes instead and lets her escape. Grandpa is incredibly disappointed about this. We get a great shot of him frowning and skulking out of frame as a very exaggerated frown.
Oh my god.
And I think we can say that both him and Tommy do kind of have perpetual frog frowns. So it does seem like they are kind of related by blood. By blood.
Blood. Grandpa banishes Tommy from the coven, from the cult. And then Vera goes looking for Roger. At the party, we have a snake charmer stripper at the party. And I wrote, "Why? Why?" And Brad, if he were here, he'd say, "It's called production value, Richard."
Yeah, snakes ain't cheap.
No, sir. Especially not in Blade Runner when they're all android snakes. Because High Pike was in Blade Runner.
Wow. We get another cool song in this scene from our band called "Can't Do It, No, No, No." This is my favorite song in the movie, actually.
I don't think that applies to Beth, because she did it. No, no, no.
No, no, no.
So now they can't do it, can't do it. No, 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 they can't do it. So that's all it's loud. They can't do it, can't do it. No, 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 they can't do it. So that's all it's loud.
So then we see Mom hanging up a grief wreath on the door, which I find very touching. Then she lights a jack-o'-lantern, and this whole sequence, I just wrote hearts on my notes. This whole bit right here, I love it. Then a party dude hits on a Japanese girl at the party, and she tells him off in Japanese.
Well, yeah, it's almost like, okay, so she's kind of doing that thing like what happened with, I think it was some Asian dignitary's wife was sat next to Trump at a dinner, and she pretended that she couldn't speak English, so she didn't have to talk to him when she speaks perfect English. I think that's kind of what happened here.
What a terrible thing to do. Why would you miss an opportunity like that?
Here is a little background detail about this movie. So in an interview with Gregory Cummins, the actor who plays Tommy on the disc, and in a featurette, he's talking about the fact that the production was difficult because Jag Mundra didn't speak a word of English.
Whoa.
Which is false. Jag Mundra had been living and making movies in Los Angeles for like 25 years.
He just pretended so we wouldn't have to talk to him.
I think so, because
that's insane.
Jag Mundra does a commentary on the disc. He's interviewed from the same time period on a local public access television show and speaks perfect English. So I don't know what the fuck was happening. Like, was he specifically not speaking English to the actor who played Tommy? Or is it like a thing where like he was speaking English to Tommy the whole time, but like Tommy couldn't get past the slight accent? It was just like, man, well, he must be speaking Indian.
That's hilarious.
So very, very strange.
Back inside, the rad band is rocking yet again. And then my second favorite character hits on Roger. I wrote in my notes that she's the weird woman. But she is not a weird woman at all. She's Mariah Grant, or Mariah.
It's Gant, or Gant.
Yeah,
no R, Mariah Gant, yes.
Yeah, cannibal hookers, man. What are you going to do?
And she does look a little bit like Barbara Steele.
No, I totally agree. She looks like a weird American Barbara Steele, and she's so hot, and she's dressed like a Southern belle, and it's like...
Yeah, well, I would say she's dressed like Little Bo Peep, but...
Oh, sorry, I'm messing up. She's, I don't know ladies' attire, okay?
Hey, okay, I don't know about these corsets.
I'm here from Fright House. What are you doing?
The big floppy hats. I don't know, man. All I know is there's beers and punk rock.
That is so true of me. I love this woman. I love this character. It's so great. She's hitting on Roger, and it's just, he's not buying it because he's already made the sex act with Beth in the cemetery like you do. Then Beth and Vera show up, and they're talking to Roger, and while the Carrie is her name, this weird lady is in the bathroom, and the killer comes in. She just laughs and is like, oh, hey, hi, devil.
And does she get all horny seeing him too? Is that...
Like you? Or like me? Like the audience?
Whenever I see Billy Goat Walrus, I get...
Like Nora. Sorry.
Yeah, like Nora.
I'm always horny. That's my secret, Captain America. That might be a line from a porno, like a porno parody of the Avengers. That's the thing. I'm always horny.
Oh my gosh. There definitely has to be an Avengers porn parody, right?
If there isn't, then the world is not right.
And that should absolutely be a line. And oh my goodness.
So the lady, she gets killed by the killer.
By like, he tightens her corset too tight and then knifes her in the back.
That's a double whammy.
Hiya, devil. Some party, huh? I just came for one dance, but then I met this adorable young policeman.
And then Roger and the cops go to investigate Satan's barn at the behest of good old Vera. And it's empty. And his boss says, so where are they, rookie? And I love that. You're useless, Roger.
We always knew it was true.
Yep. Back in the bathroom, Vera and Beth are in there, and they think that the Carrie, the weird lady, is drunk. Like, some people can't handle their punch. And then Beth gets gotten by the killer while Vera's in the other room.
Yeah, and this is why all these states are trying to pass these Satanist bathroom bills. You really just can't trust Satanists in your bathroom.
Gotta keep them separated. Now.
It's a tasteless joke, but... Yeah.
No, I loved it. It brought out my inner, what was that band? Offspring?
Yeah.
Vera finds Beth's body, and there's a double whammy corpse discovered. She also realizes that the crazy lady's dead. It's good stuff. Grandpa shows up in the costume, and there's a great mask removal fake out where it's not Tommy after all, it's Grandpa. And then another devil shows up, and the two get to fighting.
Yeah, so who is the one who's been doing all the killing?
Oh, I know.
I don't know.
But then a third devil shows up, and they start all three of them fighting. And then a fourth devil throws a net over the other three devils. Then a fifth devil drives a car through the front of the party palace, and they all fight.
And then the camera pans out, and it turns out that a devil has been drawing this on a animation table all along, and then starts erasing all the other devils.
That's so metal. Okay, so Grandpa, who's fighting for his life, apparently, dies, and he loses this fight spectacularly. It's so good.
Well, in the fight, they're both conveniently masked so that stuntmen can do all the work.
Oh, thank God. Do you know how fragile High Pike was at this stage in his life? Gotta be careful with him.
Yeah, well, that gut disappears whenever he puts the mask on. Weird.
It gives him power, Jeffrey. It makes 35 years of beer guzzling, 55 years of beer guzzling, 65 years of beer guzzling disappear in a magical moment.
That magic moment.
When your beer belly disappears.
Thanks, Satan.
Thank you, Satan. Beelzebub. So Roger shoots the fleeing devil. The devil that won the fight is trying to book it, and he shoots this person. They get away. Then the camera is following this injured devil, stumbling around in the woods.
But at the same time, Gramps is dying.
Yes! And he bestows a gift.
With his dying words, he makes Roger's third eye go blind with a little flashing red dot.
You know, there's all that special effects in the nightmare sequence. And then they used up all that money there with the lasers. So all they had left was this red dot they could have done with the laser pointer, if laser pointers were around in the 80s.
It didn't exist.
They were just on guns in the movie Cobra. Yeah, so he inherits the powers because it's passed through was it passed through, Jeffrey?
The blood.
We see the stumbling devil stumble in the woods, and of course it's Mom. It's been Mom this whole time doing all the killings.
Surprise.
Oh, I love it. Man, she's great. She's just scrapping. So
and Tommy does manage to find her because he was hiding in a nearby bush and pops out.
Yeah, she's at her husband's grave, and he's like, Mom! He's holding her, and she's dying in his arms, and she's like confessing all this stuff. And he's crying, and I'm like, this is supposed to be funny, right?
Well, it does border on the humorous when Tommy starts licking the blood off of her face. Like,
it tastes good. Grandpa says it's good for me.
So salty. And then our baby boy is reformed. He crosses himself.
Oh, I love it.
Hate it. He's going back on everything he knows and loves.
Well, why not? He was supposed to stay pure. Now he can really stay pure for Jesus.
Born again.
So we cut to the Black Mass. Surprise, surprise. The lead Satanizer turns around, and it's Roger. And, of course, the song kicks in from earlier from D.C. LaCroix. You're the devil's son!
Well, you know what they say. Key parties don't organize themselves.
Man, that was a long movie to write about. It doesn't feel long when you're watching it for fun.
It's not long. It's, under 90 minutes, yeah.
When you're taking notes, you end up with 5 pages of notes, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Man, that was complicated, but I had a good time. Is there anything else you learned from the Blu-ray, which... It's so funny, folks. I ordered the Blu-ray too late to have it for this episode, so I got stuck in old VHS rip land. Is there anything else you learned from the Massacre Video Blu-ray?
You bet I did. So in that featurette interview it only interviews a couple people, but mostly the actor who plays Tommy. He also says that High Pike might have been an actual devil worshiper.
What?
He's like, he kind of prefaces it by saying like, well, this might be slander, but...
Oh, nice.
Then he talks a little bit about some cursed set tales. Like there was some weird stuff going on in that set. Including the best one, which is in the middle of production, director Jag Mundra just fell down a fucking hole. Which I guess is just something that happens to people both in the movie and while making the movie. And he broke his leg all to hell.
Oh
and
my God.
He came back in a week, all casted up in a wheelchair, and finished the movie that way.
Wow, poor guy.
Yeah, he's a trooper.
Suffered for his art. Look at that.
He's a trooper. And that was it from the interviews that was interesting, really. The rest I gleaned from a 30-minute long segment on a public access television show, I'm imagining in California, done by a woman named Georgetta Wilmoth, who looks a little bit like Zelda Rubinstein. She's just this old woman, this old, small, shriveled woman who had like teddy bears decorating her set.
Ooh,
and all these Valentine's Day decorations because it was in fact Valentine's Day when they were filming it. This is an interview with Jag Mundra and Mariah Gant and Katina Garner. And they brought their acting reels, and Jag brought some clips from his movies, and they just kind of talk about that a little bit.
Cool.
It's very stilted. Georgetta is not a good interviewer. In fact, she keeps on like hitting her microphone and making terrible noises throughout the entire thing.
Oh, public access TV, folks. It's all on YouTube now.
We also find out at the very end that Georgetta's candles were provided by Kmart. And I wonder if high pikes were also provided by Kmart.
Was she a Satanist?
Yeah, they're all Satanists.
I know.
So also during this public access television program, Katina is holding a trombone for the entire interview. And we just know it's going to happen eventually. And eventually she is instructed to play a Happy Valentine's Day song. And she just kind of blows shrilly into the trombone for a few notes.
God.
How about give a little for Valentine's Day? For Valentine's Day. Yeah. Happy Valentine's. Hey. Happy Valentine's Day. That's cute.
And then they plug their fan club, and that's pretty much it. It's more of a curiosity than an enlightening piece of.
Wow.
There's also, again, there is a interview with a commentary with Jag Mundra on the disc, but I did not listen to it.
Next time when we cover this episode again. When we review this episode on an episode.
Exactly.
So, how do you like this one?
Love it. I saw it. I saw it for the first time not too long ago. I bought the disc. It was at a reasonable price. I was like, this seems like something I'd like. So I bought it. I watched it. I loved it. Right. I liked it even more this time watching it. It's not, not a great movie on a technical level, on a script level. It's not even like a super funny movie. Like, I don't think this is the usual, like, bizarro laugh riot that we usually do. But it's definitely amusing and diverting, and it's got such a wonderful vibe to it. Yeah. I mean, like, from frame one, it sets me in a good mood. And it's not, like, super Halloween-y, but it still kind of has that vibe.
Yeah.
Just, any movie that starts out in a pumpkin patch, I'm down. I'm all in.
Nice.
And it's got, I would describe this as, like, a wonderfully sleepy horror movie. And I love those kinds that you can kind of like doze off while you're watching, and you wake up and you're right back in it. Because it's not like anything has really changed.
Nice.
Yeah. Big fan of this. How did you feel?
Oh man, this I watched for the first time, I think a year or two ago. I was gathering, because Liette and I was gathering so much Halloween-y stuff that we're going to need to celebrate it for like 2 months to get everything in. And this was one of those Halloween-themed slashers that I had never even heard of before. So I was like, well, here we go. And I got a download of it. And man, I just love this. It's going to be one of those films that gets better with every viewing because of that vibe you were talking about. It's got its heart in the right place. You know, it's so perfect and like, it's no Nightmare Weekend.
Yeah.
But so like, it's not like you said, a laugh riot where you just put it on and people can't believe it's a real movie. It's definitely not that. It's more talent behind the camera, but very, very, very silly, generic in good ways, like cornball generic, you know?
Yeah. Its charms are subtler. All of the funny moments, they might not even strike you as funny the first time, but like the third or fourth time you watch them, you're like, yeah, that's fucking weird. I like it. For the longest time, I think I didn't watch this one because it seemed like, particularly I guess from the box art, which I do like the box art, but it kind of gave me the impression it was going to be another one of those heavy metal horror movies from the 80s, late 80s, which are terrible. Something like
Rocktober Blood.
Yeah, like Rocktober Blood, which is terrible. Terror on Tour.
I've still never seen that one.
Yeah, they're not good. And so I figured this would be much the same, but it's really not. It's way above those.
Yay. Right. Have you ever seen Haunted Ween?
No.
Because I always mix this one up, well, until I saw this one. I used to mix it up with Haunted Ween, but I still haven't seen that one yet.
No, I mean, I recognize the title, but I don't know it.
Brad interviewed that guy for Doomed Moviethon a long time ago, and I just never got around to watching the movie. It looks very promising.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely seen that cover before.
Because I think that director lives in Kentucky now, so...
Interesting.
It was not a long-distance call for Brad.
No. Cool.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Well, folks, we got to get back to the dungeon. The boglins and the goblins and the ghoulies are fighting.
Yeah, I got to go hand out some beers to all the trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, because they're all clearly over 21 or 45.
Or they're like, children who hang out in graveyards and poke corpses, so like they can handle a beer.
I've got to hire a stripper for this party I'm throwing. I got to hire a crazy lady in a Little Bo Peep costume. I got to hire a snake charmin stripper.
Got to hire Lucille Bluth.
Yeah, I got to get a cop to come and watch the party.
Just to give you a sense of this movie, there is a moment where the Lucille Bluth cosplayer there's just a shot of her or him standing under the staircase at the party, just bobbing along by himself to the band as it's playing.
That's a relatable character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I got to hire a secret comedian to come and ruin the mood. Man. Folks, thanks for listening. Jeffrey, thank you for taking some spooky time to talk to me about this amazing movie.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome. Blood into blood. And folks, have a safe and natural Halloween, because remember, processed sugars are really bad for you. Go to your local health food store and try some all-natural cookies, candies, and toothpaste that is made only from the subtlest ingredients from nature.
And remember, no trespassing.
What was it before? What did he say when he walked in on him? You have intruded on the ceremony of blood, and you will pay for this sacrilege. Motherfuckers. I might have added that last part.
No, I think that's a high pike through and through. Yeah, you got it.
Good night, folks, and oh, boo, and I'm a spooky Halloween cat. Hiss. Meow. Meow. All right, I'm going to stop recording.
Hello, This is the Doomed Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Please check out the other shows at legionpodcasts.com. If you want more of Hello, This is the Doomed Show, check out doomedmoviethon.com or hellodoomedshow.podomatic.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at doomedmoviethon or email the show doomedmoviethon@gmail.com. We're also in the air. Look up.
Did you ever see a film at such a young age it left you traumatized with cinematic wounds? Necrophilia. It's a dead issue, man. Don't push it. Cinema Psyops is a weekly podcast documenting an ongoing experiment on the mind of an unwilling test subject.
No one should have to watch this movie.
Oh, no one should have to watch this?
No one should have to watch this movie.
Surprisingly, it's not a topic that a lot of people really want to tackle.
I'm shocked, prudes.
I know, really.
Right?
It's the next sexual frontier that no one wants to explore.
I am, in the most sincerest of senses, disappointed in you.
It takes a powerful goddess like Connie, jam her arm down the monster's throat and kill it. Oh, I'm still tripping out over that. Even as a kid, I was like, I gotta find a girl like that. Every week, I get a new look of disappointment that I never thought I could get out of it.
Unimaginable. At 12 years old, you should not be watching this movie.
Obviously.
At 13, you should not be. 14, you shouldn't be. I'm not entirely sure even 17-year-olds should be watching this movie.
Just because you're offended by something doesn't mean that you have the right to demand that it doesn't exist. Watching this film again, I had all of this like little nerd glee with everything that kept
little
popping
history
up.
all popping up
absolutely.
at you.
So I totally loved this film.
Hey, I know why you couldn't see that. It's because your brain's warped from watching this shit at 12 years old.
Yeah, this is a rough movie. I told you ahead of time when we were getting ready to do it that it was going to be a rough
How could you watch
one.
this shit at 12?
Because physical wounds heal, cinematic ones don't. Listen to Cinema Psyops.
Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything can you offer me today?
An obscure body in the SK system, Your Majesty. The inhabitants refer to it as the planet Earth.
How peaceful it looks.
Most effective, Your Majesty. Will you destroy this Earth?
Destroy it utterly.
Send Rick and Danny in Wool Rocket Ajax.
So, just destroy it?
That's what Ming said. Don't you ever listen?
Well, there's no arguing with Ming.
Hail Ming. Wait! You see those transmissions on the Visua screen?
Crow? Nightmare on Elm Street?
Chud 2? Black Belt Jones?
Nightbreed?
What's a critter?
Oh, I've seen those things.
Flash? I guess we could wait a while before the destruction.
Yeah, and watch some movies.
And talk about them.
The Hail Ming Power Hour. Disobedience to Ming. For now.
You can find us at Legion Podcast.
You can find us on Facebook.
iTunes.
We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram.
At www. You know what? Just Google it for yourself.
Just Google it, you bastages.
Hail Ming.
Breaking 2? Electric Boogaloo?
Samurai Cop?
Army of Darkness?
Flashdance?
We might destroy the planet if it's Flashdance.
This is a distress call from across time and space. I am Babs, the automated biological support system for the humanoid known as the Witch. Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock is the weekly chronicle of his fight for survival and entertainment on the junk heap of the future. Episodes are transmitted in 15-minute pulses across the dimensional divide weekly for your listening pleasure. As you will learn, the future is not set in stone, and a flux capacitor is a girl's best friend. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and on your Android device. Come join the rest of the Meat Popsicles in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock. The replicant known as Witch can be found on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr and Instagram by searching for THEWYCH. The Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Now in the words of Lord Humongous.
Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.